Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin in Tucson, Arizona. Thanks for joining me today where we have a mailbag with lots of stuff, things that actually came in the mail. First and foremost, thanks to everyone for being here. Like, share, subscribe. And got this really cool little pamphlet, Colonials 101. Thank you, Carol, for sending this. This is on behalf of the 4Cs Club, the Colonial Coin Collectors Club, colonialcoins.org. This little pamphlet's just 25 pages of fun visual representations about the history and collecting of colonials. Not only coins, but also there's a little bit on paper money there. If you'd like a copy of this, they will be free at the Baltimore Coin Show the weekend of November 6th, 7th, 8th, 2025. 5th, 6th, 7th, 6th, 7th, 8th, something like that. And nicely done. Good work, Carol. I'm sure that if you go to their website, colonialcoins.org, you could probably reach out to somebody there who could help you. Very exciting to see people making stuff to get more people interested in coins and coin collecting. All right, here we go. We had a lot of conversation about trading your gold and silver in for maybe a numismatic item. All right, here's some Devo saying, I don't know, you can whip it. Is it that easy to sell gold or silver to buy that 1909 SVDB? I've seen a lot of lowball or refusal to buy anywhere near the spot price. I did notice the most recent heritage auction where nationals seem to have gained price. I wonder if some of the old hands traded in their gold to buy currency. Well, the first comment I have is that we were selling silver at spot not that long ago, so buying it at spot wouldn't have worked out for us too much. So this always happens when you see prices go up. The wholesale buy-sell stuff's always going to be in fluctuation. You just have to be ready for it. Those markets are always going to be moving. So you always have the physical asset of gold and silver, and then you have whatever the spot price is doing in the paper markets. They're not exactly connected, and that's one of the things that's a little bit unusual about it. It's not like trading stocks where there's numbers on a screen and that's it. You have to have people physically willing to take possession of and pay for the items. And then they have to inventory it and physically find someone else willing to take it. We had lots of fun comments about gold and silver in general. Next up, in my opinion, if you're saying if you're saving for hard times or a crash, numismatics are going to be harder to move because few people are familiar with their value. So the concept in the video had to do with, okay, gold and silver gone up a whole lot, and now let's go ahead and trade that out and buy something else. So there's lots of little comments around this based on whatever someone's perspective is of gold and silver, of why you would have it, etc. So lots of things that we own or possess or collect, we have because we want to and we like it. So someone else had made the comment that, I was coming from a vantage point that I'm assuming gold and silver are just going to plummet back down to earth. There's a little bit of truth to that. My main point was the fact that gold and silver used to be here, and now they're here. And if you buy something that already has a collector value, that's a completely different market. You're just moving the money over. Whether it goes up or down, you've kind of locked something in over at a different price point. So yes, in theory, going back down, you're locking something in. But the main point is, you've made these great gains. Do you want to take some profits off the table and put it into something different? That's kind of more the concept. It's fair to say that my perception was, okay, there's a chance that gold could come back from 4,000 to 2,000, and you had a chance to put that into something numismatic that's going to hold its value. The idea of the market just crashing, the world crashing, numismatics or non-numismatics, it's a fair point. But there's been plenty of videos made. It's a fair point to say that you can't really easily just go out on the street and trade a 1909 SVDB to somebody. But also, there's been plenty of videos made about people going to trade silver or gold bars for pizza and stuff. It kind of got you videos. I understand that. Point is, even with gold or silver, you need to have somewhere to transfer it into whatever the current credits of the day are. Federal Reserve notes, what have you, going back to the previous comment about not being able to sell stuff as easily. I've always had people come in here over the years and ask, if silver just goes up, from $30 to $300, will you still be buying? My answer has always been yes. This current kerfluffle where we had some buying stop or pullback was the first time when it's been like, well, could that happen where I don't buy it? I still think that the answer will be we'll always be able to buy it. But the reality is, when you're dealing with a physical market where people have to physically take hold of the material, there can be heavy discounts depending on how quickly things have moved. So yes to the buying. What the rates will be at will always change, and they always have, right? So if you were originally paying $30 under spot when gold was 300 and selling at 30 over, you actually had a 20% clip to work with, which is what we used to do back in the day before it became like a popular thing to buy and sell gold. And then when it went up to $1,000, guys still wanted their $30, and it's like, well, I'm not going to work on 1%. Is that 1%? I don't know. I'm not going to work on math. That's what I'm not going to work on. Anyway, great comments about the gold and silver market. All right, we got Adam here saying that he actually had sold gold and silver off and bought. I've owned many 09 SVDBs. I still have my 93S Morgan, graded VG8. I also have a few ounces of gold and many ounces of silver. To me, precious metals are foolproof because our paper currency could quite literally go to zero value overnight. I still have cash, but converting it into other commodities that have a guaranteed longer shelf life than the fiat trash. Smiley face, strong emoji. So to his point, and to the previous comment, it's not all or nothing, right? It's not like, oh, get rid of all of your gold and silver and just buy SVDBs, or get rid of, it's a little bit of everything, right? It's the potluck, it's the potpourri, it's let's go ahead and have some physical assets. If you have a car, you have a physical asset, right? If you've bought a house, there's long-term investments in mutual funds, there's numismatics, there's gold and silver. There's all kinds of things that you can accumulate over time. And I don't think it's wise to have only one. I think there's a lot of wisdom in saying, oh, this is great. I've enjoyed my collecting. By the way, I don't know how old Adam is here, but, if he's had an 09 SVDB and a 93S Morgan and VG8, those could have tripled or quadrupled in price since he bought them, if he's had them long enough. So definitely upside in all of these different things that we get into. All right, here we go. Oh boy, what's this? Roger. Let's see. Roger's question I'm actually going to skip. Sorry, Roger. I know you got all excited there because it sounded like I was about to call your thing out, but I'm saving that for a rainy day. Let's see, here we got the history of money. Heck yeah, Ben, I sold my common gold and silver to buy numismatics, including the 1877 Indian had sent. From you, agree, the power play right now. Yeah, it's up. And someone who was maybe didn't think they'd be able to afford that coin now can afford it, right? So it's just kind of a fun thing to do if you're a collector. Not saying there's one right way to do it. All right. Here is a comment about a video we did a while back on barber half dollars from Alex. It's one of my favorite sets. When I started collecting, the halves were neglected. These in XF to AU were about $100, but it took over a decade to put together the set. The prices were not bad, but finding the rare dates at auction was rare. Tastes change. Great show. I have to come for a visit. Come on down to see the shop. Come on and see our people here. They're great people. TucsonCoinshow.com. We'll see you then. Good times. Thank you for that comment on collecting barber halves. All right, treasure change. Here we go. Treasure in change. I'm a coin roll hunter. If you have to kiss a lot of frogs to find a prince. Rare equals rare. Coin roll hunting is great for those of us on a very small budget. We pay face value. Coin roll hunting, sometimes it gets dismissed. Sometimes I'm the one dismissing it. I will say that one of the most interesting varieties in the modern era, the Wisconsin quarter with the extra leaf, which in my opinion was made by the mint and intentionally by mint employees. I don't think it's nefarious. I think they were doing different types, and it's kind of one that slipped by the goalie, so to speak. That was found by one of our customers, Bob Ford, Coin Roll Hunting, brought it in. And Bob used to bring stuff in all the time, you know, once a week, twice a week, and be like, Ben, look at this. Let's look at this. You know, and you know, a lot of it was stuff that we still see today, where people bring stuff in and they think it's a rare or an error, and it's actually a damaged coin or something like that. And I remember looking at it and comparing them, and I was like, this. That was my reaction. It was probably just like, what? What is this? So, coin rail hunting, fun way to get into parts of coin collecting. The comment that you're buying stuff at face value is a great comment. I mean, there's not any downside. It's a nice hobby. Gets you into being able to find stuff at face value and possibly make something that's a little bit more collectible come to life. Here we go, Superman. Okay, Doc Rohde. I bought the 1 ounce Superman. I really don't like the package for the 1 ounce. The coin is integrated into cheap plastic. At least the 2.5 ounce lets you remove the encapsulated coin from the packaging. So, you know, I made a video showing the 2.5 ounce Superman. I hadn't seen the 1 ounce, but I'm assuming the 1 ounce packaging is more like you get with modern commemorative dollars, which are always such a booger to get out. They're like in there tighter than tight. I know that's probably designed so that when they're shipping, they don't just pop out and flip around and stuff. But those things can really be a pain to get out. All right, I think everyone, let me see if I got one more here. Made the train video. Train videos are always popular, right? CMTY saying, well, you're on the right track with the subject, Ben, and I was really chuffed to watch it. Not trying to railroad you here, but more videos about trains on coins and banknotes would be nice. Thank you for that. We had to have a little bit of some numismatic puns going on while we were moving around here. Choo, 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 choo for you too. And last but not least, talking about a video we produced showing a box set where the box was maybe cooler than the coins. This is all stuff that's way over my head because we're talking numbers with planes, 15 by 5. I don't think that the F16 and B52 reached legendary status. Oh, I think that the F16 and B52 reached legendary status, but not sure about the other two. The F117 was good at hiding. Yeah, nothing else. And yes, the gunship helicopter is very cool, but doesn't have the record. The F4 or F15 are contenders. If I had to pick a helicopter as one of the four, I think the Huey Bell UH-1 is a better choice. ETA, yes, the box is brilliant, the coolest box ever. The box was amazing, no doubt about it. This is basically what happens when sometimes people come to the coin shop and you just start spouting off like numismatic nerdery at them instead of like, you have to really tone it down when someone comes in from the public so that they understand what you're saying, because all the letters and numbers here, I know what they represent. I just don't have the imagery for what they're talking about, right? So lots of fun stuff. As always, like, share, subscribe, leave your comments. And until next time, guys, have a beautiful week, and we'll catch you next time. You can watch more videos clicking on the videos. We actually have a members section with a little Abraham Lincoln icon, whichever side he pops up on. And as always, tell a friend. All right, guys, until next time, take care.